Welcome back to the Jesus Fuentes podcast. Um, Still nameless. I guess it's just at some point just gonna take over, and that's just gonna stay the name as it is. I hope not. I actually wish I could have come up with something a bit more creative. But then again, like I said in my previous episode, all of this is just about of like doing it, going about it, and then seeing where it takes us, right? Um, Actually, I'm going to try to do a couple of things that I could have done better in the last episode. And that is for me to just bring up the theme, which is going to be relationship advices. And I'm sorry if you did not want it to. I actually don't know if you want me to say your name or not, but it was a girl that follows me on Instagram. I appreciate her a lot because like she's one of the few people that leave me things whenever I ask them to, like on my Instagram stories. But she actually left me self-love, relationship advices, toxic friendships, self-confidence, and dating. So if I were to break all of those down, I'm just gonna tell you one thing. Like, I'm not the person that should be talking about this. And the reason why it's because I have not gone I haven't gone on a second date for like 3 years. I'm going for 3 years, 3 years being December. Like it's been a long ass time. Mind you, I've kissed some girls in between. I've gone out on dates. I either get friend zoned or I friend zone girls. And yeah, like it's just been so difficult. And if I can just like say how all this is gonna go, might as well just say it. Like, if you want to know how not to have a girlfriend or a boyfriend, listen to this podcast because I don't. If anything, I'm a pro at being single. So let's just start off with that. Um, Second off, that I wanted to share is that this other girl said mental health and self care with Joey. So there it is, like the self care twice or self love by two different people. And obviously, I already had Joey on the first episode. So if you haven't watched it, go ahead and watch it. I'm actually going to try. I'm not sure if I'm gonna get the time to, but here's a link. Hopefully that worked. And if it didn't work, then it's okay. So there's the self-love, the self-care, and then there's another one that said your big dreams for the future and how you're working to achieve them. I feel like that's another one I can do for sure. I would love to hear your best advice on life. That's definitely another one. Like I feel like there's no such thing as like the best advice for life because you're talking about me. You're talking about a 24-year-old telling you to tell you the key of how to live your life. I don't think there's such thing. Or maybe there is, I just don't think I can give you such a good advice. If anything, just listen to this podcast that you're gonna hear that I go by like a couple of rules like throughout my whole life. Not my whole life, but like some rules that I base my life on like at the moment. And it's just because slowly I've seen how they helpful they are, and then I just make them stick. So, for example, just one of the top of my head is like what is it? Sorry, um, honesty is the best policy. And a girl told me that, and actually that goes tied in with like the relationship advice. So we'll put a pin on that. So um, I just love to hear your story. Your story. I feel like that's what I keep on doing with every single video that I do. So if you are watching this video, I'll definitely appreciate that. Topic purpose. I feel like that's a lot like the advice for your life. And then about your experience living in Canada. That's definitely another video. And plans for the future and any goals you've set yourself. I feel like a lot of this, you guys just nailed it. Like you guys been asking for the same, so that's kind of cool because then it's not like I'm making just a topic for one person. It's gonna be a topic for like a lot of people, and hopefully you guys are gonna like it. So yeah, let's just dive into the fact that my hair, for example, has been a mess today. And what I mean by a mess is that like if I just like let it out like that, actually that doesn't look that bad. That actually doesn't look that bad. So I might just keep it like that. And my computer's at 40%. I was charging it, but my computer should be sideways so I can actually see how I look. There you go. Let's see. I know I was so bothered by the fact that like on the last video, like my t-shirt was too much towards one side, but it's so difficult because I tend to do this, but since I'm looking at myself in the camera, it's backwards. So it's it's just difficult for me to get it right. Anyways, relationship advices. I mentioned that, for example, for that, there's this one time that I was working at Common Eatery in Ottawa. If you ever want to get a drink, if you ever want to get a badass drink, like a cocktail, if Jay's still working in there, like, well, actually, am I confusing them? No, there's Jay and there's Dougie. Shit. Man, it's been such a long time. Like I remember when Kai was working there too. Who else was there? And I feel like he doesn't even work there anymore. Just go there. Whoever is bartending, it's probably doing like an amazing job. They have this this high standard on what they do. And when I worked there, it was cool to like see all of that from like the kitchen, the drinks, because it like all of the drinks were really special. They were really taken care of. If that's what I'm trying to say. Anyways, Common Eatery, it's a good place for grabbing a drink. Also, it's in Elgin Street, so might as well. I don't even know if it's open right now because of the whole COVID-19. But anyways, I remember I was dating this one girl and I was having issues, and then a girl that worked at Common, her name was Sarah. Such a nice girl. Also a very beautiful girl. I don't remember how it went down, but like she kind of overheard me, or I talked to her and I asked for an advice, and it was more so in the lines that like she ended up telling me, Jesus, like, I just feel like you have to be honest. Tell her how you feel. Maybe I was bottling something I wanted to tell her, and she said, honesty is the best policy. Like, and I started like having that as one of the liners, like one-liners that, no, it's not one-liner, but one of the sentences that would actually like base my life from there on. Because I think really honesty is the best policy. If you're just plain honest with somebody, you are on the right side in terms of like, if they call you out or whatever, like, you know that you're true to yourself and that like you're honest and what you said is the truth, and that's just gonna look good on you. And maybe honesty is the best policy applies sometimes, and then in a relationship doesn't. Let me explain why. So this is tip number 1 to be single. Tell your partner what are your goals, or like tell whoever you're dating for the first time what are your goals towards the future. If you tell them that you want to leave the country, say bye, because they're not gonna be the person who's gonna stay around, who's gonna like waste their time, who's gonna say like, oh, I'm gonna keep on chilling with this guy because he's so focused on like traveling and getting a job in another place. So yeah, that definitely has not worked out for me. I don't know if it's something that I should or I should not. I feel like by elimination, I should not be doing that, because even though people always ask you like they're just icebreakers. What is it that like you want to do in the future, or what's your dream job, or I don't know, where do you see yourself in 5 years from now? I feel like that one's not something that you say when you first meet anybody. But I would say, oh, I'm like looking for a job in Canada, or like I'm just looking around. I apply for jobs in like Ireland, and I wouldn't mind working in New Zealand and all of that. So like right off the bat, like I remember there's this one girl that called me out, and this was in Puerto Vallarta, and I told her that like, man, I was not staying around for the summer. Like by then I wanted to have a switch in my life, and I was speaking like 5 months or 3 or 4, I don't remember. I think it was like three and a half, 4. Let's just say 3 months from the time I met her, and it was almost like, well, you want to leave, so like why would I start something, or why would I get attached with you? And I was like, there it is. Tip number 1, just don't highball like so much where do you want to go, because maybe they're just not on the same wavelength. And you know, that's something another girl told me. She said like, you know what, like don't get disencouraged, don't get like disappointed. I don't know if no, that's definitely not a word. Like, don't be so hard on yourself, because you are trying to do something that's just crazy to a lot of people, that is outside of their comfort zone. And then you see yourself like applying for these places that people don't even think that they could apply to those places. And even though like I say that I apply to these places, I apply to few because just like them, there's always that fear that like, man, I don't fit like what they're looking for. And then I try to learn what they are asking for, and I didn't even got the chance to apply for the job. But in a way, I kind of just want to like learn a little bit more of it, so that like if there's ever a chance on that, I could apply for that. So yeah, that's something. By the way, I just wanted to say that it's really hot. Like, I need to keep my window shut, and I don't have the fan going on because that's gonna make noise. And if I open the window, oh my goodness, you don't know what a open window it's like in Mexico. There's so many cars that drive around with their sirens on, like saying, oh, we're here to pick up scrap metal, or like, we got water, if you want to buy water, we got like this and that. And yeah, it's definitely gonna be such a distraction, just like now, me having to address it. What else is there to say? So that was tip number 1. I guess another thing that I could put on is the fact that like, say whenever you go on a first date, if you ever just wanna like if you just wanna cock block yourself, it's talk. And you might think like, seriously, talk? Yes, talk. Because if this proves anything, is the fact that I can talk for a long ass time. If I can talk to the camera for an hour, yes, I can talk a lot about myself and about nearly anything when I'm in a date. That's not very attractive, apparently. So that's tip number 2. Talk. Well, I should be doing the opposite, which is listen. Listen, because you want to ask questions and try not to be the person that talks a lot. Because if you're the person that's just talking a lot, they're going to know so much about you, and then they lose the thrill of it. And I think that that's definitely like, I feel like I'm just learning everything that's wrong when I'm like dating somebody for the first time, because I'm just like saying it out loud, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's not such a good idea. But yeah, I just wanted to wing it and bring this podcast to you guys. Actually, I'm going to be making this like more of a thing, because maybe I'm not gonna be able to meet the deadlines of like having a girl or having a boy as a guest for the podcast. And if I don't have that, I don't want to be late, so I'm just gonna be recording this and then putting it out if I don't get the guest that I wanted for that week. Man, it's hella hot. Like, having my hair like covering my ears, you don't understand it. Like, I'm sweating. So yeah, that's not very attractive. But anyways, what I wanted to say is like, you have to listen, because the more you talk about yourself, the more they're gonna know who you are. And I know that kind of defeats the purpose, because when you first meet somebody, you kind of want to know who they are. But I definitely feel like in a minute, like, let's actually try that. In a minute, I can pitch myself and like say who I am, what I want, what I like, and everything. I'm easy with like explaining myself. So let's go about it. So I like wine, I like whiskey, I like craft beer, and I just like to drink. I like to go out for drinks. I like to go out to bars. But I don't like to go to a bar if they don't have something that I can just buy at the LCBO or like whatever the liquor store is like, because then I feel like they're ripping you off, because I'm kind of cheap, and that's also something nobody should say anyways. But I take a little bit of pride on that, because like by being cheap, like I focus my money in like what I want to spend it. So anyways, I'm backtracking myself. I'm cheap. I if I know I can do it myself, I'll do it myself in a way of like if I can just go grab a 6-pack instead of like going to a bar and paying for 2 beers that are gonna cost the whole 6-pack, I'm just gonna invite you over to my place. And you might say, well, that's awful for the very first date. Then I'll organize a party. Yes, I'm Ted Mosby from the How I Met Your Mother show. Because literally, I would throw a party just so that like a girl could come over to my place so I can save up money. And you know, I like parties. I like house parties. I like having people over. I like interaction between people. I feel like definitely the minute it's over, but I'm just gonna keep going. Let's see where this ends. I like art. Like I like artsy stuff. I'm the kind of guy that would spend a good 15 minutes like it's nothing on Pinterest, just looking at rooms and wishing that was my room. Because where do you buy this stuff? And how am I gonna buy this stuff if I'm cheap? But more than anything, I don't have a job. So it's not like I have an income to actually spend it on those kind of furniture and that kind of furniture. What else? I like dogs. I like cats. Maybe that's gonna be a turn off for like either or. I like pets. I like animals in general. What else can I say? I love it. I love it when people follow my joke. If they are able for me to like, see, this is something I do a lot. And this is why I get along so well with like my friends, whoever knows me really well. Like for example, when I'm out and I'm with Joey or JP, like I'll start on a joke and then they'll like keep it on. Like they'll keep on going with it. And I feel like that's just cool. So for example, if I say like in Spanish I say hola, que pez, trucha o atún. So it's like hey, and I'm like what fish, trout or tuna. And que pez is, so what fish, it's like the one of the weird ways, cool ways that in Spanish you can say what's up, and but it's actually not what fish is, capex. So and pex is not fish, but it sounds like pez, which is fish. So anyways, I'll say like what's up, and I'll say trout or tuna. And this is something I always do whenever I like go meet somebody here in Mexico, and I just say that flat out, like when I first meet them. There's like this huge division where like I can see, and this is not me trying to judge people, but in a way they put out their true colors right off the bat, because I would say that and they'll either would not follow the joke, they will not say trout or tuna, or they would just like be like what, like weirdo, or you know. And I feel like there's definitely a better way for me to say this in English. But anyways, like for that example in Spanish, from like weirdo and like not following the joke and just giving you that awful like dude, what the fuck, like the complete opposite, somebody that says like tuna 100%, you know. It's like when you say like boys, and then the boys are like, boys. Yeah, it's like one of those things, or like, um, who knows, like, whenever you say like, oh, I want pizza, I'm down, and somebody says like, oh, I'm not down, you're like, why? And they're just like, I don't know, man, you know, pizza and all of that, it's not the best meal that you could have. Like, why don't we just go for McDonald's? uh, I feel like that's kind of like the joke. Maybe he's introducing the joke, and then afterwards, you could be like, man, but why McDonald's? Like, let's just go for pizza. And then maybe the person is gonna bring up a funny story about McDonald's about me. And, you know, that's and maybe just right before he says that, I'll be like, oh, dude, yeah, no, just don't bring it up. Like, that's kind of the vibe whenever I'm like just with my friends, with like my very close friends. We will go so in depth in like memories, backstories, inside jokes, and we'll try to like make them understandable, so like whoever's around us, like they start laughing. This works, this may not work. And you know, it's kind of like you're trying. So that's something I always do. I always try to like make somebody laugh. That's pretty much why I say like que pes to chawatun. Because if I don't say, I feel like the whole conversation could just be meaningless. Like, what am I supposed to say? Just hi, what's up? My name is Jesus. My name is Chuy. Hola, me llamo Chuy. And what do you do? What's up? Like, I feel like in a way you can save up time by just like showing a little bit of yourself, who you are. And maybe that's gonna come off like too much for some people. And maybe it just comes off like too much for like these girls whenever I'm meeting them. It's not like I actually say it on the first date, but something that it would just flat out come out naturally. And I do realize that whenever like I say a joke and I'm just like making this alley oop, or like I like put the ball there so that somebody can dunk it, and they just don't dunk it, I'm just like, okay, this is kind of over by itself, because you don't want to follow my jokes. You are not even trying, and maybe I'm putting such a big barrier. And the reason why I'm saying maybe I'm putting a big barrier is because maybe they're just shy, and I can understand that. Maybe that's another thing, that I come up as like too confident right off the bat. But then again, isn't that what girls like? Confident people? And you know, I feel like this is just good. I rambled for way too much. This thing started as like, let's pitch myself as like 1 minute, and I'm talking about something else. I rambled into a huge story. And if you ever wonder how a day goes with me, if anybody ever asks me something about me, that's how long I will take. And that's usually what I would talk about, because that's a true story. So there goes like a tip number 3 or 4. I don't remember. If anything, just don't do that. Just listen. Ask questions and listen. And then the other thing could be just measure it out. Because I feel like definitely something that maybe I'm just thinking right now and like coming to this realization is like spending too much time with the person. Like, I understand that like time flies by whenever you're having fun and everything, but I just feel like maybe they just get tired, like, because they just have to process so much between each other. And I don't know, like, I have not been the guy that just has a one night stand, and I have not been the guy that says a one liner and goes for a one night stand. I'm more of the guy that just goes in like 3, 4 dates, and then you're kind of a little bit of a thing, and then afterwards you keep on dating. You ask yourself like, are we a thing? Ask each other like, do you want to be my girlfriend, or do you want to go out with me? It's so weird like putting labels, because I feel like when you say, hey, do you want to go grab coffee, you're pretty much saying, do you want to go out with me? And then afterwards it's like, are you even a girlfriend, or like, are you dating? I feel like that just goes without saying. Like, you don't have to say like, hey, do you want to be my girlfriend? Because like after you guys kiss, or she stays at your place, or you stay at her place, or you guys go to a motel or whatever, it it kind of just seals the deal. Unless there's like the talk where like they're just like, oh yeah, this is just a fling, or like, oh, this is a one night stand. And it just goes without saying, when you wake up and she's not there, or like when she wakes up and you're not there, who knows? Like, that's a world I don't really understand, because I have not done that. um if anything, maybe just once, and it was like so planned, because it was with somebody I knew from a long time, and there's like a little bit of tension between each other. So yeah, it's never been with like just a random girl. I'm just like, let's let's get out of here. Like, I have never said that, and maybe that's where I'm lacking. I'm lacking into the game of like, hey, just go straight to the point, say something sexy, and if she likes you, you get to bang. And if you get to bang, well, that's what you want. Then I'm like, no, that's not what I want. I actually want to see this girl again next day. I want to take her out for coffee. I want to know what she likes, what she doesn't like, where she likes to go, why she likes to go to those places. I want to go to those places, and I want her to tell me why she likes it. And while I'm there, try to see the place in her eyes, but through mine. Just build memories, and like do stuff that like she likes, and do stuff that I like. Kind of like let her inside of my world being like people with cameras, and like people that go out and make films, or like they're just so interested in social media, so proactive into doing something like a podcast, or making a video, doing a photo shoot, modeling, doing art. And maybe for her, like her thing could be like going out for coffee shops, and that's like the highlight, and that's okay. Maybe she reads a lot, maybe she's studying, maybe she likes to go out climbing, but since, I don't know, maybe it's expensive, she only does it every now and then. Or maybe she just likes cars and she goes to car shows and this and that. Like, I want to be part of her life while she's being part of my life, and kind of give my time so she can give her time. And it has to be reciprocal, in the point where like we don't mind doing that, because we just want to spend time with that person. Yeah, like, I'm not getting laid with that. I'm just saying it out loud, and it's just like a flat ass truth, because I feel like I'm just making out words. Flat ass, flat out. It's just a flat out truth. And what else is there to say? Just don't do that. Because if you do that, if you say that, then there goes like the, oh, he's the kind of guy that wants to get married. He's the kind of guy that wants a relationship. Or, oh, I'm not ready for that. And I get it. Like, there's some girls that just came out from a relationship. They just want to rebound. And vice versa. It could just be with the guys. I'm just going to say it. Like, this could very well be the worst nightmare for a girl. Like, guys thinking what I'm thinking that I should be doing. And maybe they're just like, why can't guys just be like this guy who actually cares and all that? I'm gonna tell you something. It's tough, but it's just truthful. We're not that attractive most of the times. Cause if we are like I am, and I'm not saying that I'm the perfect guy, but like, just put me in this box as the good guy, like, girls are gonna be like, maybe he's just too good to be true, or like maybe he's just like such a nice guy, there's no thrill of it. And I kind of get it. Like, not gonna lie, why wouldn't you get attracted by a guy that has like a lot of experience, maybe not in bed, but like just saying that one liner and just makes your life laugh right off the bat, and he's just sexy, he's cool with it, he has that James Dean thing going on, and you're just like, of course, of course he's gonna get you, and you're gonna choose him over this other guy who's just normal. You may think like, oh, I'm gonna go with this guy, and if this guy doesn't work out, then he's always gonna be there. And that's kind of the truth. Like we're just hanging around there. If anything, this podcast could be like how to be that good guy. how you, it's not that I'm salty or anything. It's just weird because I'm just bad at this. Like we are almost hitting the 30-minute mark, and I kind of want to make this huge tangent and see where that goes. And this huge tangent is just gonna be online dating. So online dating, if I could just like put it in simple words, online dating is a place where you're looking to date somebody, and you have to come up with this mindset. I'm just gonna tell you like a couple of rules when it comes to online dating. On your bio, the very first thing, it has to say like, what do you want? Are you looking for a one night stand? And you may be thinking the girls actually pulled that. Yeah, like some girls just say like, I'm just looking for fun, and that's okay. I feel like maybe guys do that as well. I wouldn't know because my profile does not go along those lines at all. Another thing could be, for example, sorry, I'm just like trying to like dim the light on my computer because it's almost about to die. The other thing could be, have your mind set on the fact that, like, for example, people are gonna know that you are looking for somebody. So there's this huge thing that just flat out it's been told. Because a lot of people don't like the fact that like when they are in that social media or dating social app, people are gonna know that you're looking for somebody. I feel like that's okay. That's something that you just need to work on understanding and deciding if you want to like people know that you're looking for somebody, because people will know. Like, and you may not know who's gonna know because you don't know who has the app unless you download it and you start using it. But then again, if you're already looking for somebody and you tell your friends and they're setting you up on dates and they're taking you to places so that you can date somebody, it's not a big difference. I mean, yeah, but then again, like you may not even meet these people. And for them to remember you, there's tons of people on these social medias, whether it's Tinder, Hinge, which I wish Hinge was a thing in Mexico. I actually can't download it over here. And Bumble, and many others. Anyways, so first thing is just like have that one-liner. I feel like it just goes without saying because a lot of girls, like for example, a girl could go out with a guy and then realize like, oh, he just wanted to like fuck around. And you may be thinking, well, isn't that the point of the app? Like for just flings to happen and just like one-nighters to happen? I don't think so. I'm in the app and you may be wondering, what the fuck are you doing in this app? Because like knowing you and like being on this app, like no, you're not gonna find somebody. I'm just gonna say it, yeah, no. It's really tough. I have not found anybody. I dated this one girl out of Tinder or Bumble, I don't remember. It was a relationship, so to a certain extent it did work. And it ended more so in the fact that like she was not into that idea. She was more into like the fling idea. So that's where I cut the things out. So yeah, did it 100% work? I'm not sure. Man, it's just hella hot. Anyways, the other thing is like, for example, whenever you are in social media, on social dating apps, on dating apps, what am I saying? You can tell that I'm nervous, and this is just gonna fade away hopefully with time. And what I was going to say, if you want a profile that's kind of cool in dating apps, take this with a grain of salt, because like I already said it, I feel like this is the best podcast if you just want to cock block yourself. What I feel like the profiles are like the ones that I've been swiping right is if they have like cool looking pictures, like not pictures where it's just like in their bedroom with like awful lighting and you can't see them. Like there's times where like they only show their face and I'm just like, God, like I don't even have that many pictures of just my face. Like you can at least see my torso and my legs. And I get it. Like it's a scary place. Some people have insecurities and some people just feel comfortable sharing their face. Um, if anything, you'll get more likes if you like show yourself, like your whole body. And like I said, and I feel like I can a little bit speak on that because I'm not that comfortable with my body, and that's something that I've dealt with for like years, and I've been trying to be better and to do more exercise, and I've been kind of accomplishing it, but like small steps, because I'm awful at like keeping uh, being consistent with this, like me doing this running stuff that I do, and I think I got pretty good at it, and I love it. I love the fact that now I can say I run, and it's not just a whatever thing. Like I have the app and I track myself and I understand it and I have goals, and that's kind of cool just itself. But at some point I wish I could say like, oh yeah, like I eat right and I know what to eat, and I also would like to say like, oh yeah, I work out. Like working out to the point that it shows. That's just some of my goals. Anyways, a little bit of the tangent, but yeah, like I feel like profiles that have like your whole self, big plus. Another thing is like if you have a pet, why not throw it in there because it's just cute. It's personal, so that's another thing. It's not just the clickbait of like having the pet, but it's kind of cool that you have that like, oh, I have the same pet. It's just like a little bit of inside of your life, and that's what I wanted to say in like this profiles too. Like if you have a picture of like you at a club or like having a drink with your friends, or just a cool picture with like your friends, like squat up or something like that. Not squat up, like just repping, like being you, like this is the squad and whatever. I feel like that's cool. It just like shows like where is it that you hang out, what do you like to do, who are your friends, and maybe like, oh, I know that person. And it just happens. I feel like I've been in two small cities like Saltillo and Ottawa, and everybody knows everybody. At least after two people, like you know everybody. What I mean by that is like if you know two people, like like all the people that you know, and then a friend of yours will know another bunch of people, and another friend of yours is gonna know another bunch of people, and yeah, you get to like meet, or you pretty much know everybody in Ottawa or in Saltillo because, oh, my friend knows that one person. Or if you ask your friend like, do you know this person? Oh yeah, I know that one person. Everybody knows each other. um so yeah, it's kind of like there's a huge plus if you have pictures with like your crew or just at a place, but don't overdo that. Like if you can't understand or like picture like who is you, like why even bother? Like make it so like it's easy to understand from those five girls you're that one girl. So like the first three pictures, make it be you, and then you can have your picture with your buddies, with your girls. um what else could you do? Like just put your Instagram, I guess. And oh yeah, verify yourself. Like if you don't verify yourself, I feel like that's gonna be a huge turn off for a lot of people. They're gonna be like, oh, this is a catfish, it's too good to be true, who knows? So yeah, verify yourself. Why? Because I said so. Just make it more safe in the app by itself, and it doesn't take that long. Like literally they're gonna send you a picture where they're like, oh, take a picture of yourself like this, or take a picture of yourself like this, or who knows. They're just like complicated posts. They're not too complicated, but yeah, they're posts that obviously it has to be you so that they can verify your profile. The other thing is kind of be honest. Honest is the best policy. I guess this is where like everything is taking place, because from the very first line, people are gonna know that like what is it that you're looking for. And I feel like that a lot of girls and guys do that. Well, I actually don't know about guys because I don't see their profiles. I know the girls do that a lot. The other thing was good pictures, pictures with your well, not your family, but like your crew, your dog, or pictures of you at places. That's another thing. If you have just pictures of you in your room, like, do it, do it. Like, just get a picture of you at the bar. Just get a picture of you at a coffee shop. I feel like if you're into Instagram, you definitely have a picture in a different place, and it's not that hard. And if it's hard for you, that's okay. Like, small steps, baby steps. See what the pictures of these other girls on Instagram look like, and take a picture of that. And I guess after saying that, I definitely had to say this. All of this is a facade. Like, all of this, it's a little bit of just how you sell yourself online. And I know that sounds really bad, but it's almost the same with every single social media, like it or not. It's not a dating app, but at the end of the day, you're trying to get people to like you. So you see the similarity in there. The other thing is, like I said, honesty is the best policy. Whenever you're talking to this person, to whoever he or she is, if you realize that like you did not have that thing in your bio, like just looking for fun, or like trying to make friends, or maybe just looking for a relationship, or like let's get a glass of wine and see what happens, you know, that's kind of what I had like before. Let's grab a glass of wine and see what happens. And I also have like other stuff, like I like whiskey. I like craft beers. Very artsy guy. I like to do photo shoots and video shoots. And you say like where you graduated and all that. Well, you can put that up. You can take it off if you don't want it there. And yeah, like if that's not there and you're just trying to like talk to this person, in a way, just be like very settled with it, but just bring it up at some point so that you know exactly where you are standing and where he or she's standing in the page. Like, are you guys looking for the same thing, or are you guys not looking for the same thing? And just be open with it before you actually like go out on a date. Unless that's your style, just go on a date, figure it out there, and don't be asking for too much. And what I mean by that is like, don't put your hand like, oh, this is the perfect person. Like, I'm actually gonna be dating this guy, or I'm actually gonna be dating this girl because she looks so chill and all of this. And maybe she's just there for a fling. So just goes without saying, just don't build that up. Like, don't put your expectations too high. And just understand that there are people there for different reasons. And the cool thing is to find that one person that's for like the same reason, or maybe for a different reason, then figure out that like, damn, this is switching. That's kind of cool. I feel like that would be a good like relationship story, how somebody could just be there like for flings or whatever. And I feel like that's just a good mentality at some point. Like, just think of it as a fling, and then just go out there. You're not with high expectations, with high hopes. And then afterwards, hopefully this person will change that, and they'll make you think, damn, I want to see this person again, and change your mentality. What can I tell you about my success in dating apps? Is close to none. Like, I've been in this dating apps for like a long ass time, and though I do get some matches, I feel like there it goes again. From me maybe filling up my bio, I'm just putting out too much, and there's like this like trail that just goes out the window because now they know everything about me. So like, why would they even bother? Like, oh, when you give them too much information about you, you're giving them too much information where to like see, oh, I don't like this guy. See what I mean? Maybe they're just like, oh, like he's just a plain old alcoholic because like he likes alcohol so much and that's all of his bio. Or maybe he's just way too much into art or this or whatever. So I guess that's the tip, what reinforced. So don't talk that much. Kind of be secretive in a little way. And hopefully, all of these tips helped you in some way, like from building a dating profile to knowing what to do and what not to do. And then again, take this as a grain of salt because you're talking to somebody that has not gone on a second date in a while. And yeah, I feel like for this last couple of minutes, let's just like ask or put it out to the world, because I feel like you guys already like saw when I said like what I would what it would be like if I was dating somebody. It would be more so like, oh, I want to be on this girl's life and like just learn all of it and have her like be part of mine as well. Like that would be really cool, because then like they're part of the crew, and you just want to like be in this comfortable space with them, and that just goes to like a deeper, better relationship. And yeah, you know what, like it could be scary to some people, but like who knows. I feel like there's something that a friend of mine told me, and she said, you know what, I don't think it's just the time. I think it's a little bit of different things. Like it's the time, it's the place, and fortunately, like she said that, like fortunately you're not with somebody. And she ended up like selling me this idea where like just talk yourself up. Really, just talk yourself up and say all the good things about yourself. Like I could say I'm caring, I'm honest, I put others before me. So I'm definitely gonna put you a little bit in a pedestal. I'm gonna take care of you and think of you. I am going to be quirky. I feel like I'm just by what I said already. I'm going to be a little bit like detallista, so that's like putting detail. Like if I see that you like something, say for example traveling the world, I remember for one of my girlfriends I gave her a watch that the watch face was like a map of the whole world, but it was like a faded version of it, like an antique map of the whole world. I just thought it was really cool with like leather straps, and it wasn't that expensive. It's just a good gift. And yeah, thoughtful, I guess that's what I'm trying to say. There's not much to me. I like to say I'm a bit minimalistic. I'm definitely cheap in a good way because I spend my money in the right things. I feel I can get sometimes thrifted and buy some good bottles of like whatever, maybe whiskey or wine. But those are kind of like the little things that like sometimes I just do. Like I just want to try this wine because I've been like craving it for a little bit. And I feel like that's just with like, oh, I just want to buy this pair of shoes. I want to treat myself. And then she said, well, what's wrong about you? Like, you see what I'm getting at? Like, you're good. So if you're just good, then don't worry. It's just not there yet. What's happening? You want to go out. Maybe you want to get a job at another place. And you know what's probably happening? You're not going to find that girl in the city where you are, because that's not meant to be. Maybe you're going to find that girl in like New Zealand. Maybe you're going to find that girl in Canada. And maybe that girl that you're going to find in Canada is not in Canada yet. Maybe that girl is in like Tokyo. Maybe that girl is in Dublin. Maybe that girl is in another place. And they just exactly like you. They're just waiting for the chance to go out of their city and like be a hustler like you. Like just hustle their way there and get a job and get that dream job that you so want. Maybe you're gonna meet that person at your job because you guys are gonna have so much in common. Or who knows, maybe you're just not at the right place, time, positioning. And what I mean by positioning is like maybe you don't have a lot to offer, and that's okay. Like maybe you're gonna be able to offer more whenever you get that one job. You're gonna be able to like take them out and this and that. And right now you should be focusing on applying for jobs. You should be focusing on getting better in your craft and this and that. So I definitely feel like maybe that has a lot to do, because it somewhat makes sense. If right now I'm here, but I see myself, or hopefully like normal people's life will go about, you're gonna find that job and you're gonna stay there for 30 years. Maybe for the next 30 years I'm not gonna be here and I'm gonna be at this place wherever, or maybe I'm going to spend 15 years here and then 15 years over here. Who knows? I get it's weird because like I'm 23 and people at my age have been dating girls for like quite a while now, and maybe they're about to get married in like a year or two, and then they're gonna have a baby, or maybe they already have a baby. So I don't know if I'm too young, I don't know if I'm old, I don't know if I'm late. Who knows? Like everybody has a different time. And I feel like definitely in my time, I can almost assure anybody that with the COVID, like that's not a good idea for me to be just going out meeting girls and having a girlfriend or whatever. But the other thing is just I'm putting too much time into myself. Like I'm putting time into the podcast, learning how to make it better, editing it, getting used to different applications. So me figuring out how to put it on Spotify, me figuring out SEOs, me promoting it on Instagram, me trying to make my Instagram a bit more professional, my portfolio, my resume, applying for jobs. Maybe it wouldn't be fair, and I wouldn't be able to give the time and attention to somebody I like. So there goes my answer. Maybe it's just not the time, and that's okay. So take that away from this podcast if you've listened till now, that you're not alone. If you haven't been in a relationship for a long time, that's me. It's been a dry season. I'm just gonna say that. And sometimes it just feels like forever, for sure. But think of that. I think it's always good to have that reminder that like, do you good? And if you're not good, like try to figure that out. What is it that's not good with you? Like maybe you're just too toxic, or like how can you say like you're too toxic? Maybe you're just like too mean with people or this and that. Maybe you need to figure that out. Who knows? Maybe I need to be more sexy and I need to figure that out. Who knows? I'm just saying, best case scenario, that you're just like, dude, I can't find anybody. Who knows? Maybe it's just not right now, and you have to put most of your eggs in this basket, and this basket is working on yourself. And then on the other end is honesty is the best policy. I'm gonna bring it up again. This is gonna sound crazy, but it kind of ties in with like being in a dating app. When you're in the dating app, people know what you're looking at, what you're doing, and that you're looking for somebody. When you tell people that you're looking for a job, people are going to have you in the back of the head, and then whenever they see a job posting, they might tell you. When people know that you're looking for something, it's kind of just like expressing it to the universe. The universe is gonna know, and what I mean by that is like the people around you, it's gonna know that you're looking for somebody. So just be honest. Tell your friends that you're looking for somebody. Who knows? Maybe they're gonna be able to like put you on a blind date, or like get you to meet this one person, and maybe something will spark from there. And the other thing is just like try new things. If something has to be said, it's like if you keep on doing the same thing, like it's okay. Like if you keep on going to the same bar, if you keep on going to the same cafe, like you're gonna see the same people, and you're gonna see that there's this like routine. And you're gonna be able to notice when somebody that's not from there walks in and you may be able to say hi or whatever, I feel like it's okay. Like maybe follow a routine, because by following a routine, maybe that one person can find you because they realize that you go to that place too often. And this is like a crazy like life strategy, like doing that. I feel like like I said, it's kind of when you're investing into things, like invest into different things. Like don't just invest in like being that one person that goes to the same cafe and says like, oh, I'm going to meet somebody in here. Like no, like yes, you can be consistent in that one cafe in the mornings, but at nights and in the weekends, like do something different all the time. Go to a different place, go to a different bar, and visit those bars for a couple days, and then like measure it out, realize who goes there and this and that, and then go to another place, and you know, because like you miss all the shots that you don't take. That's another line that I go by a lot of the time. It's like if you don't take the shot, then you're never gonna miss, but you're never gonna win. And from the shots you take, you're gonna have to win at some point. But you have a way bigger chance from shooting your shot than never ever shooting, because if you never ever shoot, you're never ever gonna get an answer. So yeah, be bold and like think of that next time that you're like, oh man, like I'm at a bar and you see this girl, and this could be vice versa. The girl's there and you see a guy, and time's running out. Like I feel like a good thing for you to do is just do this. You walk in, you got 3 seconds to do something. If you don't do anything in those 3 seconds or 10 seconds, you're gonna overthink it too much. It's gonna get to a danger zone where you're gonna think about it too much, and you're not even gonna wanna talk to that person anymore, because you're gonna build up this how everything is gonna go wrong. Just approach them, tell them something nice, like, I love your shoes, or like, you want a drink, or I don't know, how often do you come here? I'm terrible at this. You can tell right away. If like what I would actually do, and this goes along with like me ranting about like me following a joke and wanting somebody to follow my jokes. Do something stupid, but in a way that is just like comes out normal. And I guess like this is just gonna come out from practice. But like if you go up to a girl, you could be like, man, like, no, that's a bad beginning. I see a girl. Let's just picture this. I see a girl, and I'm just like, okay, I need to talk to that one girl. I'm gonna go up to her and be like, I love you. I love your jacket. Nah, I'm just gonna be like, what are you drinking? And then she's like, a buck current. I'm like, man, that's too much sugar for me. And then maybe she's gonna be like, what are you drinking? I'm gonna be like, a whiskey. And they're like, oh, tough guy. And maybe I can be like, man, I'm not even that tough. I'm actually a teddy bear. I'm as soft as it gets. And maybe that's it. Like, and maybe that's just like too plain. Like me thinking that she's actually gonna say that. But who knows? Like the law of attraction, when you want something to happen, it might happen. And I'm just gonna tell you, when you are good at like setting up so like they follow on. So that's what I meant by following the jokes. I'll make the setup as in like whiskey on the rocks, or like the way you say that, and maybe they're gonna be like, okay, macho man, let's get out of here. But that's exactly what I wanted her to say, so I can be like, no, I'm actually a teddy bear. I'm as soft as it gets. Like, actually, I'm having a tough time swallowing this. I might just get a buck of cranberry, and just keep on with the conversation. You might think that's slick. You might think this is not slick, and it's just a waste of time. Depending on your level, how you pick up girls, how you pick up guys, maybe this is a whole waste of time, because you could just have that one-liner and get at it. Just have that one-liner. There's pickup artists. That's a thing. If you want to be one of those guys, just search like pickup artists and how they do it, and you can do it. I feel like this, I'm getting to the end of this. It's almost gonna hit an hour. I'm just gonna have a sip of my water. Oh my god. I should learn how to sip like quickly and do it in between, because I definitely feel like my voice changes from the beginning to the end. And yeah, if you guys like the podcast, if you guys want me to do a part two, I feel like this topic would have been so fun if I was with somebody, like say Joey, and or who knows, any of my friends. Actually, I feel like it would have been really cool. If you want a part two, just let me know. Leave a comment down below. It's not like anybody actually leaves a comment, but if I keep on saying it, maybe one day you're gonna do it. Give it a follow. Click on the bell. I don't even know if that actually works. If you get a notification whenever I put a video out. Then again, it's not a lot of people that watch this. I only get like 100 plus, and that's like on the best case scenario. The last ones have gotten like 90 and 60, and it just keeps on going down to 30 views. I'm just doing this because I like it, because I want to be consistent, because I don't want to be a perfectionist, and this is a way for me to like become better at my craft and like learn, and not just sit around and say that I want to do a podcast and say that I know how to do a podcast when I actually don't know how to. See, something about my field is like people say, oh yeah, I can take pictures. And that's something so broad, because what do you mean by that? Like, can you do film photography? And you may think like, oh yeah, I can do it. But do you have practice? And that's just key. I just want to have practice in like doing podcasts. I want to have practice in uploading things on YouTube. I want to have practice in different things like making thumbnails, editing the audio, editing the colors. At some point, I guess when I said like here it is, like I want to like be a bit more comfortable with After Effects and put little titles and boxes that appear and just jokes and zooms in and out whenever I'm making a funny face. Who knows? So yeah, this is something that if in any way it's just helping me personally. And I'm not here for the views or anything. I'm just here so that you guys, for the few people that see this, so you guys can enjoy it. I can rant for a little bit and just be creative whenever I have a guest. So that's it for today. I hope you guys like it. Please give it a follow, subscribe, push the bell notification, leave a comment with your IG tag, and what else is there to say? Follow me on Instagram at jesus.fuentes without the last E, so it's Fuentes. And yeah, I'll see you around. Actually, you can click off, but let's talk about a sponsor of today, even though it's just a joke and it's too late into this now. Sponsor of the day. Who's gonna be the sponsor of the day? I guess someone that I wish like could sponsor this, definitely Nomad. Like Nomad has amazing things like leather goods, something that I want to put in. Like I wish I had a leather case for my phone. The thing that they have where like you can put your phone, your Apple Watch and your AirPods, like that's just, it just looks clean. It's so cool. I wish I could have it. But then again, it wouldn't be so helpful because it's not like I have an Apple Watch and I don't have the AirPods. I guess the cases are just cool looking. Is there anything else that I can say about Nomad? Nomad cases, accessories, nomadgoods.com. I'm just plugging them, and they don't even like sponsor me or anything. But yeah, oh, they have a cool dock where you can put your cell phone. I guess it's just the leather goods. Like, I like leather, and I feel like this is just cool by itself. Oh, I remember I saw this one thing that they're like trying to sell. They're charging cables, and they like attach the charging cable to like a truck, and they're on a skateboard or something, and they're just like holding from it, and it just like makes you believe that the cable is actually that strong. So yeah, the cables, and also the fact that like, I don't know if, I feel like this is such like a first world problem, but like if you're looking at the leather case from Apple, and then you're thinking, is the wireless still gonna work or anything? That's something that I learned from Nomad, because on their videos, like, they have the leather case, they put it on the charging thing, and it still charges. So yeah, it works. It's not gonna take that away from it. Yeah, that's the non-sponsor sponsor of today. If you guys want to search them, it's NOMAD, Nomad, and I'm pretty sure that's how they are on Instagram. I'm just gonna double check, but yeah, it's Nomad. So, all right, that's it for today. I hope you guys have a good time, and I'll see you next time.